lifestyle won't stop hustling.
Snowfall Season 5, Episode 9, titled Departures. Let's get into it, man. No further ado. I thought I had pockets in there, man. Look at this fly ass Future Trillionaire gear. Listen, before we get started, I want to give a shout out to my sponsors, Future Trillionaire Clothing. Go to IamTrill.com. You get something off your order if you enter the promo code ABSTRACT on the way out. Listen, they specialize in custom flannel, plaid, whatever you decided. They call it Trill Check. That's their whole thing over there. You know, they do other stuff as well. But man, they sent this to me custom. You see, I got the matching watch with the lumberjack. What Big say, red and black with the lumberjack. You know what I'm saying? It's about shit. But anyway, listen. We all knew Buckley was gonna fumble that package. We all knew it. We saw the trailer with Franklin talking to Kane in the hospital. If you watch Mark Dark videos as well, he was emphasizing that it was Franklin talking to Kane in the hospital. So we didn't know how Kane was gonna end up in the hospital. Listen, nothing in this season has played out the way a lot of us thought it would be. You know, we thought it was just gonna be simple, cut and dry. Franklin gets hit, he hits back. That's the end of that. Didn't play out like that. Things take a change and everything is going haywire. But we see in the next coming episode that this can obviously work in Franklin's favor, being as though he had nothing to do with the hit. I don't know if he's going to sell his people out because Franklin always emphasizes I don't sell my people out. But we don't know. We'll get to the episode when we get to it. Let's talk about this episode. But like I said, we knew Mr. Buckley was going to fumble his package because he's a fucking crackhead. You know, crackheads can't do shit right. You know what I'm saying? They'll do it, but they ain't going to do it right. And sure enough, he fumbles the play. He winds up getting his partner or another cop killed in the process. So he got IAB up his ass. And also, he didn't even finish the job with Kane, but he did paralyze Kane. So they said Kane will never walk again. And it's crazy, man. Listen, you get that classic West Coast scene of Leon on top of the roof of the projects drinking a 40. Like, that's just like a classic West Coast scene. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's a scene straight out of NWA, the NWA movie. We see Leon calling Franklin at his crib. Franklin's still tripping balls from the LSD that he had. He's trying to get over that shit. You know, he not a drug user. He don't like that shit. So he trying to get that shit off of him. Leon like, man, I'm good. Leon like, man, I do this shit on the regular. Anyway, Leon comes and visit him. And he looking around like, damn, nigga, like, this what the fuck? This how you living? Like, what the hell? Leon probably reevaluating his life, though. Like, man, this is nuts. So we see that they having a conversation. And Leon's telling him, listen, Louis, she put the head out on Kane, went behind our back. You got to lay the law down. Franklin is such at peace, and he just kind of like, yo, I'm done. He just want to be so far removed from this shit. He like, yo, what I'm supposed to do? Like, yell at them? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, tell them. He like, listen, for what the game was, they didn't do nothing wrong. The only thing they did wrong was, like, doing it after they agreed not to do it. That's the only part they wrong. But he's like, yo, as far as the game goes, they not wrong. And I'm like, yo, the game is the game. You know, they used to say it on The Wire all the time. The game is the game. And that's true. That's really true. So Leon just can't believe it. Like, man, like, is this the same? Like, who is this dude? He's like, yo, when have you ever listened before when we told you, like, let something go or leave it alone? And Franklin's just like, man, listen, I got all this money. I'm living in this cool-ass crib. I got my lady, my baby on the way. I'm chilling. Franklin is in chill mode right now. But you know what they say, man. You keep poking a bear, you put somebody back against the wall, and you're going to see them react. And that's how Franklin is, man. And that's one of the things Teddy underestimates. Yeah, Franklin, you're CIA, but Franklin is a kid from the hood who done went through mad shit. Like, Franklin laid out at the end of the episode, yo, I done been shot. I done got stabbed. I done been through wild stuff. Like hazardous. I really earned my hazard pay. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, I calculated, man. I made you $56 million. I'm like, whoa. He made this man $56 million bands. Woo, that's crazy. But yeah, that conversation at the end was great. Anyway, we'll get to that. Anyway, Leon's kind of pissed off because he sees the change in Franklin, and he's not really accepting. It's funny because when he wanted Franklin to change and not do certain shit, it was cool. But now Franklin's actually changing and coming into those changes that you kind of wanted in the past. You're not receptive to him. So I'm like, yeah, you just can't win with people. And then I think it's more so it looks bad on Leon because Leon was the one that kind of bartered this peace bargain between them. So it looks bad on him that it's not happening. And if word gets out that it was Louis and Jerome, automatically that connects back to Franklin and Leon just by default. You know what I'm saying? So I feel him. I feel what he's saying. What I will say also is Jerome and Louis, yo, I did not know Louis gum to teeth ratio was that wide. It's like Mr. Ed, like, I'm like, damn, she got some big ass fucking gums, but she still got some nice teeth though. But them gums is up there, boy. You get 95% gum, like 5% teeth. So they still bliss from their honeymoon. We didn't get really get too much Jerome this season. We didn't get a lot. I mean, not this season. This episode, we didn't get a lot of Jerome at all. So I'm like, okay, what's going on with Jerome? But we didn't get too much Jerome. We see this was kind of like, listen, if you notice every scene Louis was in, it was dark. She had her hair down. This is like her embracing her role as the villain, or however you want to categorize it. Her coming into. And a lot of people think Louis gonna get killed. I don't think Louis gonna kill. I think Louis is pretty much gonna be running shit from now on. Like, I think next season is gonna be Louis in control and Franklin trying to get back what he had by any means. It's gonna be like a civil war. That's what I think the whole next season is gonna be about. It's gonna be like a civil war, depending on what happens in the finale. But that's just my guess. That's just my guess of what's gonna happen. We see that Buckley is the cop, actually the detective from season 4. I don't know if you remember him. He jammed Franklin up when he was fucking with him and Peaches. And whatever happened with the Peaches storyline? Like, what happened with that? Nothing. I guess that was just like, I guess that was a dead end. I'm guessing. I don't know. I guess there's nothing happened with that. Maybe they'll bring it up next season. Anyway, we see that Buckley's he going through it, man. He going through the he getting all kinds of reprimands and whatnot thrown at him, and he pretty much on the verge of losing his job. They come in with that blood test. Yo, listen, any job where you do any kind of illegal substance, but you know they do random drug tests, but you just, oh man, they don't be doing them that often. When they do come, I know that because I do construction. I be seeing the faces of motherfuckers I know that be doing. They be like, drug test. That's how he was like, what? Yeah, he cared about that dude getting killed, the cop, but he was more so concerned when they came in with that drug test. That's when he knew it was like no redeeming from. But I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So we see Franklin talking with Vernate. He's telling her about the whole LSD trip. And he like, listen, let's just go on a little getaway, man. And this nigga so player, dude. He got the fucking jet. And he goes out and they fly somewhere and they have this little cool conversation. Just some player shit. I'm like, yo, Franklin a player, bro. He just like, I'm so removed from this bullshit. And a lot of people were thinking like, man, yo, listen, your empire crumbling. You got to do something, blah, blah, blah. But at the end, you see how Franklin looked at it. Franklin was tight at first, and then he thought about it like, shit, if anything, this is my exit out. Like, that's what he's like, yo, why not? You know what I'm saying? But Reed is being Reed and controlling. Like, nah, Franklin like, listen, I got my money. Like, I'm good. You got Louis now. They handle 90% of the business. Why not? Why not think like that? Like, listen, you could be mad at first because they snaked you, but then you got to look at it like, that's why he's like, shit, good luck. Like, all right, shit, you could deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was just smart thinking on his end. Like, all right, I can finally be done with this. We see that We see that the Sissy, we did see Sissy in this episode. I don't know why forgot we had even seen her. She meets up with the guy and she apologizes. Tell him she was on LSD. Tell her how she almost messed up the operation. And she's like, yo, we got to pursue and move forward still. She's still on that bullshit. And they agree to. And then we see what happened with him and Avi later. He breaks into Avi's place and Avi was there. And he cat one of them. And then the other dude got the best of him just due to youth. So I don't think Avi's dead. I think he just knocked him out. But speaking of Avi, we see Reed pays him a visit with his new young lady. And I think that was just him kind of showing this lady how the operations work. Because I think Reed is pussy wet right now. But he was really there to tell him, like, yo, I need to double the order. Can you get it done? He's like, yo, I'm trying to wrap up this war. And Avi's like, listen, I'll be looking for a way out too. He like, listen, all right, I do this and it's this war wrap up. Can we be done with our business? Because Avi doesn't want to do business with him either. Because it's the same shit on the other end of it. Like, I don't want to deal with your nutty ass. And then I'm putting my life on the line. Avi ready to be done too. But they both kind of like slaves to this shit. And he has an interesting conversation with a girl and shit. But he tells him about the LSD. And Reed kind of gets it and understands it. But the whole point of the conversation was that he's trying to end the world. We see Leon go visit Kane in the hospital. And I told you before that we learned that Kane is actually paralyzed now. And we see his boys there from the park, who is also going to be in the next episode, dark-skinned cat. And it's funny because if you looked at the trailer for the next episode, Franklin got like this kind of covert ops team. He's with the unusuals that you normally wouldn't see him with. Like, obviously, Dallas and Black Diamond, they work closely with Franklin. But then you got this off-brand guy, and then you got another off-brand. I don't know if that was Einstein in the back. So you got like this covert team, and he telling them like, yo, this some real shit we going against. And we don't know who gonna make it out this motherfucker, who not. But I know they going against a savage. You remember Reed and also took down a whole house full of for them cops. You know what I'm saying? So Franklin better know what he doing. He's going in with some regular street motherfuckers. He need to get some jackal motherfuckers. He need to hire those Hasidic Jews he had with the Uzis to take down this motherfucker, man. And I don't know if that was Reed talking to Franklin on the phone. Talking about, yo, you think you lost everything now? Something. I don't know if he was talking to Franklin. I feel like he might have not been talking to somebody. And I don't know who Franklin was talking about when he said, yo, I really need your help. I want to know who he was talking to then. But like I said, I'll get to do another video about that as far as next episode. I'm just so intrigued, man. That trailer had me amped. I was like, okay, this is what it all come down to. I'm like, damn, now we got to wait another week. I thought we was going to get a lot of shit this week. We ain't really get too much. We got enough, but I wanted some more shit. You know what I'm saying? We see that Leon goes and plays. We see that Buckley is actually at his baby mom's house, and she's like, "Listen, man, I could tell in your face you stoned. I don't want nothing to do with you." And he's just looking stupid in the face like always. And she's like, "Yo, get the hell out of my house." She like, "Yo, I work." She like, "I work with people like you all the time." Yada yada yada. What the fuck was that? Anyway, I don't know what that was. Anyway, but she's like, yo, I work with people like you all the time, yada, yada, yada. What's up with all these ads, man? And she kicks it. And she kicks his ass. We see Buckley goes to see his baby mom, and she's like, yo. She kicks his ass out. She's like, yo, you're stoned. I work with people like you all the time, yada, yada, yada. Winds up getting his ass out of here. So Buckley's like spiraling, going through a downward spiral right now. We see Leon goes and see Louie and kind of gives her heat, like, listen, why'd you do that, blah, blah, blah. And, Louie plead her case out, but not really. She's just like, listen, man, had to be done. And he was just like, well, he's like, they don't know who did it now. They think it's just some cops. But we gonna see, he's like, it's only a matter of time before they find out who really did it. And then what you gonna do? And she was looking like, man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be uncertain about shit. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a contingency plan just in case shit don't work out and you get that blowback. What you gonna do now? You know what I'm saying? So it's all kinds of crazy shit going on, man. It's all craziness. What else? I talked about Franklin and him and Veronique going to see, uh, going to their little island. We also see, and listen, when we was at the hospital too, we see Kane's. When Leon went to the hospital, we did see Kane guy, kind of like, yo, was this, what do you say? Was this just a police random incident, or was it something more we don't know about? And you just see Leon hesitate, shit. So I don't know if they putting two to two together, but we figure out we learned that Leon didn't sell him out, which is not like Leon to do anyway. So that was pretty dope of him to do so. We also see, Louis, and Teddy meet up for the first time. And I read Teddy's facial expression right from the jump when he was looking like, where's Jerome at? Because Teddy don't like different faces. He like, yo, from now on, just me and you meet. If Jerome's not with you, just me and you meet. And she like, no, I need my security. And he like, and of course she got her attitude, black girl attitude. But listen, Louis said some real shit when that's the part I did miss. Louis said some real shit when Leon was talking to her. She was just like, yo, I know niggas like Kane. I grew up with niggas like Kane all my life. Fuck with niggas like him. You don't do something and they think they can control you. And she was like, you think it's harder in this world as a black man? Imagine being a black female that got ambition and trying to do shit. Like, she trying to just set a tone right then and there. Like, listen, I'm top dog now. We ain't to be fucked with. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't going for none of that pussy shit. Because if you look at it, like, the fact that Franklin didn't hit back or nothing, that looked like pussy shit. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's politics behind it, on the outside looking in, they're like, oh, them niggas scared of Kane and them boys. You know what I'm saying? Kane out here laughing and thriving, smoking his little cigarettes. That nigga love smoking them cigarettes, man. That's why his ass got caught, because he couldn't run. He was smoking on them fucking bogeys. But his, and that shit was funny. He was running through the alley, too. I was like, yeah, he about to get caught. And he got shot. And Buckley, bitch ass, shot him in the back. Like, you a coward. But anyway, Oso said some real shit, too, at the meet. He said, yo, why would you want to start a blood feud? Like, why are you trying to do that? And he's like, Franklin's not like that, is he? And then he's like, I don't think he's like that, but if he is, oh well. It's just like, damn, dude, like, fucking Teddy ain't got no kind of morals or no kind of code. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have a certain code or a moral compass. Franklin, I understand y'all not seeing either, but he's going together with business as usual. And he's providing and doing what he need to do for you. You know what I'm saying? Granted, it been some bullshit. You done got shot. But that's part of the game. You know what I'm saying? Some of that shit trickles down. Now, if you would have used your CIA connections and kind of stepped in and nipped some of that shit in the bud, it might be, it could have been handled differently. But you never wanted to intervene. You wanted Franklin to handle his own shit, which is what I understand. We see Buckley so far gone. This dude is robbing drug dealers and stealing crack from them. He put a gun to like a blood. I'm guessing it was a blood dude head. And wind up stealing the package of rock. I'm like, man, he is hitting rock bottom. At the same time, later on, we see him in Louis' office, and we see her look shook at first, but then I love how she handled the situation. Listen, I'm embracing the fact that Louis is stepping up. You know what I'm saying? Especially after what Franklin told her. We'll get to that. I was just like, okay, I kind of see why she's doing what she's doing now, and like, listen, sometimes you under a certain regime and you just like, yo, I could probably run this shit a little better than this. I could tighten this shit up a little better. And this nigga ain't really got this shit tightened up like this. You know what I'm saying? So we see Buckley in her office though. And she's like, yo, I told you don't be in my office. And he telling her, he like, yo, I need the rest of my money. And she like, yo, you ain't finished the job. And he like, man, listen, I done got yada, 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 X, Y, and Z. And I love how she handled it. She's like, yo, you mad about leaving the force? She's like, man, I will pay you double what they was paying you. And you got a home here. Like, I love how she handled that. Now, if she's bullshitting and she obviously planning planning to do something, then that's cool. But the way she handled it right then and there was good. Now, is it a good idea having him on there with that habit he got and being a loose end? I don't know. We'll see. But I think he could be more value to you alive than dead. You know what I'm saying? Because he probably do still got some sway with some of the cops or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely say that. Listen, I know everybody was happy seeing the Wanda and Leon get back. You know, when seeing them together, and not only that, they was in Sissy Saint's house. Come to find out, she ain't even been staying there. She been staying at a hotel. She just been letting Wanda rock out. Listen, man, for the fact that Leon trying to get that thing out, she done topped off Bootsy, Man Boy, a whole fucking South Central. Yo, Leon was like, man, I'm trying to get that old thing back, man. You want some sincere shit. He was like, yo, I was serious about what you said. And she was like, you know, typical girl shit. I ain't got no money for no passport. He like, you know I got you, man. Like, she know damn well Leon got her. Like, stop it. So, that's good to see them back from the first season. You know what I'm saying? Everything come full circle. I just hope this ain't Leon's this last season. You know what I'm saying? Whether he die or if he just flying off into the wind with Wanda. You know, I don't know if they finishing out his character arc or whatnot. Normally when a nigga trying to change, somebody gotta die. Somebody gonna die. So I don't know, maybe Wanda gonna die and it's gonna set off Leon to get even more back to his old ways. I don't know, but I know everywhere we seen Leon, he was dolo, man. So he feared nobody. He rode dolo from state to state. He let niggas know, yo, I got y'all niggas, but I don't need y'all niggas. Listen, we see Franklin meet up with Louis and Jerome in the office, and he's telling them he apologizing. He comes in all humble, like, yo, I want to apologize. You know, I just want us to be whole as a family again. Everything going good. They shake on it and whatnot. And then she comes up with the idea to tell Franklin right then and there about Teddy. And you just see his whole mood shift. And he was just like, y'all 90% of my business. You know what I'm saying? So they was like, yo, we agreed to give you one of the LA territories. You can have Inglewood, such and such. I'm like, he's like, oh, you'll do that for me? I'm like, damn, that's shady. Listen, I understand it, but I don't understand it. I don't understand it because you got to understand, they are in this position because of Franklin. Franklin put them in this position. You know what I'm saying? He the one that made them. They were reluctant to even do this. It's actually Franklin and Louis who came up with this. But they got this far. They don't understand the shit Franklin sacrificed, what he had to do, a lot of the shit that he went through to keep this shit in motion and going. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he's made some fuck ups along the way. But they would never have that connect if it wasn't for Franklin. Period. That's a fucking fact. That's a Fendi. Never have it if it wasn't for Franklin. So I think I see it from both ways, but at the end of the day, if the whole point is not to be under Franklin, but you rather be under this white man who Franklin is under anyway, and now you got to deal with him talking to you crazy because Franklin going to be nice about it. This white man going to be straight dickhead already off the rip. Don't come with nobody else just from now on, blah, blah, blah. You see her try to give attitude. Yeah, all right. Yeah, you come with somebody else, he gonna shoot that nigga right in your head and tell you to hide the body or some shit. But we're like, Franklin walked out and he was just like, all right, good luck. He just walked right past him. Good luck. Like pretty much saying like, heavy is the head that wears the crown. I hope you could be able to handle it. And it was such an intense scene though, man. I love that scene. You know, you could tell Jerome don't want to get in the middle of it, but at the same time, he got to stand by his wife. And he was like, yo, you want behind my back to the plug? Like, he didn't think she would ever do that. But, man, you know, Franklin turned that head to the side like this, and he's thinking. But I seen him go in full savage mode, man. I was like, yo, this is some good, intense shit. Jerome just looking down. Because Jerome know deep down Louis is wrong, man. And you got to think, Jerome wants to get out this shit. He was like, yo, I got to get back to being me. He don't really want to be into this shit too heavy. But I don't know. It was an emotional scene. Like also said, nobody wins when the family feuds. That's what he said in so much. I'm like, yo, this shit crazy. Like I said, I talked about the scene they broke into Javi's spot. Javi was there. Javi was there on the late night too, man. Keeping an eye on the business. But they in there trying to get intel. He's like, yo, I know you. And they wind up attacking him. He shoots the one guy. Then he was tussling with old boy. He almost had him for a minute, but he wound up getting overpowered. And I don't know what they gonna do with my man Javi. I don't know if they gonna kidnap him or if they just gonna try to get some fire. I don't know. I really don't know, man. It sucked because Javi my guy. So I don't know if we losing Javi this season. It kind of alluded to the fact that we were, but I don't know. All right, now back to the nitty gritty. My favorite scene aside from the Jerome Louis office scene was Teddy and Franklin sitting down at this table engaging in this conversation where it wasn't much said, but it was enough said. And I didn't know how Franklin was gonna go about this whole situation. I don't know if he was gonna say, hey, listen, I want you to cut them out now. If you value our business, then you will stop giving Louis breaks, blah, blah, blah. But he broke it down to him like, listen, you selling to her, so you took half of my business now. So he's like, listen, I'm gonna do it like this. Our business right now, it ends. He's like, I got enough money, got my lady, I got my kid on the way. Like, you don't need me no more. You got Louis and shit, pretty much. And he apologized for what he said on the phone for killing him. But we already know Teddy broke in his house, took pictures of everything, and he hired a hacker or something to kind of control his funds and his assets. So I don't know why he wants to do this. I honestly really don't see like why he want to do this to Franklin when Franklin ain't did nothing but fucking supply you with shit. Like he just did what he's supposed to do. But Teddy's controlling. That's what he wants. Like he wants to have you under his thumb. I don't know if he's you get your money back when you fall in line about, but you cutting him off at the knees because you giving product to his biggest customer, like which is Louis and Jerome. So it's all kinds of fucked up. But I love the scene. They Teddy's ordering pie, and fucking Frank's like, you seem happy, and I'm like, yeah, he been getting some booty. That's why he happy. But yo, great engaging conversation. Franklin pretty much told him like this business partnership is over. Stood up, extended his hand. Teddy stood up, shook his hand, and they agreed to mutually go their separate ways. But he was telling them too. He was just like, yo, I done did my fair share. I done made you $57 million. I done had my fair share of dealings. You know what I'm saying? I've been shot. I had even killed people. I done did mad wild stuff. And he was just like, oh, you telling me, what you saying? You need more because of hazard pay or something he said to that effect. Like, okay, he's like, you didn't walk away from the money either. You know, I guess you consider it hazard pay or something like that. And he was just like, it was just a great scene between two brilliant actors, man. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was a slow burn episode. It wasn't what we were expecting. I know it wasn't what a lot of us were expecting. But nonetheless, towards the end, it started to gear up. So I think it's just preparing us for this season finale, man. They got to go out with a bang, this one. You see on the next episode, he got like I said, he got Black Diamond in Dallas. He got old boy from Kane's crew. He got I think that's Einstein, or he got another dude from Kane's crew, and they trying to get Teddy. Teddy took all his money. So it's getting real, man. It's getting real. Oh man, I love this shit. Not my favorite season so far, but it's definitely better than season 1 and 2, I think. At least season 2. No, season 1 is definitely better than season 1. Or maybe season 2. I don't know, one of them seasons. Anyway, post your comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'll be doing a video. My favorite seasons of Snowfall. From seasons 1 through 5. I want to wait till 5 is completely done to get my final thoughts on this. But yeah, leave your comments below. Let's talk about it. Till next time. Peace.